team's success. For us to go where we want to go, I think there will have to be games where Carson is the quote-unquote star of the game. I think that'll have to happen. Marcus, before we get into this debate, I just have a question for you. Why do you think Frank Reich said this, and do you like it?
I don't like it. I don't like it because we're at a point where you're coming off a game where your quarterback. Now, look, kudos to the Colts for Carson Wentz only completing 5 passes and still winning the game. He tried to play with the Patriots, by the way. Like he tried to be on their team during that game. So Frank Reich is just trying to instill some confidence. He knows at some point he's going to need Carson to perform well. Carson hasn't had a terrible season, but like I thought he would be, he's insulated by what they do around him. And then he needs to have the ability to make the clutch plays. I've seen him do it. I believe he can do it. But I also believe that in moments sometimes Carson Wentz just loses his damn mind. He just absolutely loses it and tries to do things that you shouldn't need to do if you're Carson Wentz. Dude has all the talent in the world, arm strength, athletic ability, and he will throw the other team the ball just because it's damn Sunday. That's Carson Wentz.
No,
but
absolutely.
With that being said, you should fear the Colts more because the Colts live in the vein that is going to destroy teams if they can't adjust to it. We know how good Jonathan Taylor is. We very rarely talk about how physical this offensive line dominates people in the run game is. And then on the defensive side of the ball, not great, very, very even. Always going to make some big plays in the game. Darius Leonard, obviously one of the top 5 defenders in the game. DeForest Buckner up front. Like, they make plays enough in order for this team to win, as long as Carson Wentz don't play for the other team. And hopefully, Frank Reich, when he needs Carson to put his stamp on the game, he can do it. It's just right now, it makes you nervous as hell. But that run game, that offensive line, that defense, is hell for people when you got to line up and play them for 4 quarters.
Yeah, my thing is that him saying this, is he lying? No, he's not lying. He's 100% right. Carson Wentz at some point is going to have to win a game for this football team because if a team is able to bottle up Jonathan Taylor, then they're going to have to resort to Carson Wentz in his arm. The thing is, Swagoo, and I'm glad you touched on it, he can't have a moment like he had against the Tennessee Titans where he's trying to throw the ball damn near going on his back from the end zone, and then in overtime he throws another interception that helped Tennessee win that football game. My thing is though, Carson Wentz has an opportunity down this stretch right now, I believe, and going forward if they make the playoffs, to change the narrative that has been hanging over his head, a dark cloud, for the last 2 or 3 years. He has an opportunity, especially 100%. if it comes down to him.
Hold that thought, because I want to get Kimberley in here. I want to move this forward. The Chiefs are the 1 seed in the AFC, but which team's the bigger threat to them? Is it the Colts or the Patriots?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Based on everything Marcus said, it's clearly the Patriots. Because if you're talking about, the offensive line, that run game, woo, Darius Leonard, all those things are correct. But why are quarterbacks so important? Why would Frank Reich have to tell us that in order for us to get where we need to go, Carson has to put us on his back and he's got to win games for us? Because we don't know if he's capable of doing that. In big spots, he throws the ball to the other team. Like, to me, I do not trust Carson Wentz, nor should anybody, trust Carson Wentz in a shootout versus the Chiefs. Like, that to me is, do you trust Carson Wentz to win a game for you? No. You don't. And I trust Bill Belichick a lot more than I trust the Colts situation.
Well, I'll tell you this. I know one thing. I don't trust Bill Belichick to score a hell of a lot of points against the Chiefs if the Chiefs score points, because that's the thing that's missing from this New England Patriots football team, a guy outside who can just win one-on-one at will. Now, they have guys, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar. Yeah, those guys are great, but I'm talking about a bona fide dog on that outside who's just going to win one-on-one over and over and over again that you can go to if you down and you got to score points. I don't believe that. I do like the Colts in this matchup because the Colts right now, I think their team is number 1 in turnover differential, and that's huge. Marcus just spoke earlier about how the Cowboys and getting turnovers, they give you extra possessions, not to mention they're solid defensively. So I got to go with the Colts in this one.
Marcus?
It's the Colts. Listen.
If you're
Listen,
hoping
man.
that Carson Wentz doesn't play like Carson Wentz, I mean, I feel like we.
But Kim,
Mac Jones just turned the
Kim,
ball over against that defense.
I know that was my next point. Like I'm going to trust Carson Wentz more than Mac Jones right now because Mac Jones is a rookie and he's never experienced that. That's the only reason. I ain't saying Carson Wentz a world beater, but I'll take him right now.
Okay.
This particular season alone, before I would take Mac Jones in a situation where we got to throw it to win the game. Just right now, and I'm nervous as hell about it, but I still would
I'm
take
nervous
Carson.
as hell. No, that's no conviction. Get out of here. No,
I'm more
no.
nervous about Mac
Bye.
Jones.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.